Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténgase alejado de las puertas. To our new listeners, we welcome you aboard our podcast Highway in the Sky, and hope you've enjoyed the past week. For those of you standing, please hold on to your headphones at all times, and stand clear of the doors. For the comfort of others, no trolling please. Thank you, and enjoy the DisCast. Hey, what is up guys, it is Ryan, and welcome to the DisCast. Today is Wednesday, July 15th, 2015, and is shortly after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Darren taking a drink of the water to start the show off.
You know, I gotta be refreshed, we got a big show this week.
Your voice is all very crackly.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, how about that?
Oh,
We haven't had...
What?
I don't know. Let's do a recall, why don't we?
Yeah.
Can't hurt. Can't hurt.
That's right.
Alright, here we go. We haven't had these kinds of issues in a long time. How about that? This is like, you know, classic DisCast, guys, when we had a bunch of Skype issues and technical problems. My Skype crashed. Here, talk now.
Talk now.
Perfect. There you go. Look at that.
Perfect. No need for you to tell me.
Wow. Okay, then. Full of himself, as always. Here to start off the show. How has your week been?
You know, my week was pretty good. I can't complain.
Of course.
Didn't do much this week, you know?
Right. Yeah, no.
Had a pretty laid-back week. How about yourself?
Me as well. I haven't really done too much. Gotta start, you know, it's summer. It's summer. We need some time to do nothing. But back to the grind, doing some stuff, doing the DisCast, always a pleasure. Before we start, we'd like to remind you guys of our sponsor, Spectro Radio. Darren, tell us all about Spectro Radio.
You guys should all check out Spectro Radio. Go ahead and visit spectroradio.us. It is a 24/7 Disney music radio station. Spectro supports the show, and if you support us, you should also go support Spectro because he's an awesome guy, and he plays awesome music. 24/7.
Indeed he does. So everyone should go check that out. Legit helping us out with the link in the Twitch chat, as per usual. And yeah, Spectro Radio is fantastic if you like Disney parks, the Disney music in general. He'll hook you up, and hours of listening pleasure. So head on over to there. Let's see. Do you want to do our huge announcement first?
I was thinking we bang out trivia, then we enter a huge announcement.
There you go. That's what we'll do. So we'll do trivia first. So you guys gotta wait a few minutes before we get there.
Or we could hold the anticipation to the end, but nobody watches the show.
Nobody will watch the show to the end. So I don't know if that'll work. So we'll do trivia.
We'll go forward with trivia, and then...
Yeah, we always have like 10 people at the end of the show, so we're not going to do it at the end. We'll do it after trivia. So last week, we asked you guys to tell us what Disney attraction was designed with the help of an erector set. And we had quite a few submissions, and quite a few of you got it right. We actually had multiple people who had not been winners before answer it correctly. And so one of you has been put on the trivia card of winners. Darren, do you know what the answer is?
What was the question?
It was
it's Soren.
Yes, it's Soren. Soren was designed with the help of an erector set, an old erector set, because it was very unique ride system, very unique mechanics of the whole things going up. And if you kind of look at them, you can kind of see like, ooh, it seems like someone would have made this with an erector set. And
well, if you look at the actual ride, like if they turn on the lights and you look up, it looks exactly like an erector set.
It does. It really does. So
the original plan was supposed to be a ride similar to Star Tours, but they didn't want to do it where you weren't fully immersed. Like if you look to your left and right, like you were looking at walls. It was, you know, they wanted like full hang gliderness.
Exactly, and you know how better to do that than to have the suspending. I don't even know what you'd call those things. Kind of pods of seats. It's pretty awesome. And the person who got it correct, who we chose for this week, is at PR Megafan on Twitter. Congratulations at PR Megafan. You've landed yourself on the trivia card of winners. Here's the front side. You're not on there. You're over here on the back. There you are, PR Megafan. You join the list of all of these people. I think this maybe this summer or this fall we'll send out things to all of you guys.
Send out prizes. We'll get
something. We'll get something. I have all of your names. I'm gonna have to get information for all of you. I don't even know some of these people we don't talk to anymore.
Well, just shoot them a DM on Twitter. Be like, yo,
that's gonna end up happening.
You won trivia a year and a half ago.
Yeah, come. Would you like a prize? So yeah, that'll be fun conversations to have with some of these people who I haven't talked to in years.
remember back when
Bradley's
we used
on
to,
here.
like, yeah, oh, that's an old one.
Oh,
Remember back when like we used to like not do trivia, like the first few weeks there was like nothing.
No, we had trivia the first couple weeks.
No, but it was like
Oh, but no one answered.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And the first trivia card winner came like a couple episodes in, like 3 or 4. And that was Stormy Bob, by the way, another person who I haven't seen in forever. So we're gonna have to track some of these people down.
He died.
Yeah, he's gone. What if he actually died, Darren? See, you can't say something like that.
You know, where do we send the prize to?
Oh, jeez. Did he have a will? Did he have who's his primary?
He have a prize will?
Yeah, who's his primary beneficiary on his?
On prizes entered for 2 years ago.
Exactly. So yeah,
speaking of 2 years ago, let's discuss this week's trivia.
Let's discuss this week's trivia question. So as you guys all know, when you have the answer to the trivia question, do not put it in the Twitch chat. Head on over to Twitter, tag us at DisCast Show using the hashtag DisCastTrivia. And in light of our major announcement we're about to have about the show, tonight's trivia question is about the show. And you don't even have to have been here for the past 2 years to know the answer. If you were here for the 1 year anniversary, I think this was the same trivia question. I'm pretty sure.
Was, yeah.
I was lazy. It was like 5 minutes before the show. Darren and I are on a Skype call. I'm like, oops, I didn't get a trivia question. We're doing this. It was more like 30 seconds before the show, so whatever. Anyway, your trivia question for this week is, where did the idea for the DisCast originate? Where were we? What were we doing that gave us the idea for the DisCast? If you think you know the answer, do not put in the Twitch chat. Head on over to Twitter.
Over to Twitter at DisCast Show using the hashtag DisCastTrivia.
And Legit's all over that, as per usual. 40 people! Let's hype this up, guys. Everyone has come down for this show. And it's because we have a major announcement to make. So we're going to stop the music. We're not going to have any music playing. We're going to make this a chill, relaxing
I think because this has something to do with me, should I be the one to say it?
I think you should definitely be the one to say it.
Alrighty, guys. So, last August, Ryan and I started the live shows with...
2 Augusts ago.
2 August ago.
Yes, it was 2013.
We've been doing this for ages. I apologize. And we had a nice co-host with us named Brittany. I don't know where she's at now.
Who knows? Haven't talked to Brittany in forever, but I was hoping she'd come down, but no such luck. And
it's pretty saddening to say that August 12th is going to be our last official live show at the DisCast. I figured, we would want to announce this a few weeks in advance. And I just want to say, it's been a really fun 2 years, and I've enjoyed every minute of this. We've come to this conclusion because it was a lot of, what are we going to do when I go away to college, and how long do we want to continue this for? What's our end goal? And not really having an answer to either of those questions. A few months ago, Ryan and I sat down and discussed, a possible ending to the show. This isn't us abandoning the idea of this.
Definitely not.
This is just the end of the live shows. One idea that's been brought forward by both of us in discussion has been a continuation of Beyond Walt Disney World.
Right.
And another one has been going back to what we used to do, which was in addition to the live show, we used to put up little stories onto the YouTube channel.
Right.
But August 12th.
August 12th is going to be
our
last official show as the DisCast. Now, the unfortunate part is this is right before D23. It's right before all of the big stuff's going to hit. It's going to completely change the landscape, and we're going to get a lot more insight into the future. And so in light of that, we're going to see, depending on when exactly Darren's off and what other stuff's going on, maybe we'll get Spectro on, and we're going to definitely do a post-D23 recap. That's definitely going to happen. Whether it's live or not, we're doing it. That's definitely going to happen. But in terms of the live show, the week before, August 12th, is going to be the final one. Now, this doesn't mean that you're never going to hear Darren and I banter about Disney news ever again. Number one, follow us on Twitter, because we react to pretty much everything over there. And number two, I think we'll sit down maybe once a month, depending on how your schedule is. We're going to sit down. We'll get in front of the mics. We'll record. We'll definitely have content on the YouTube channel for you guys to enjoy, but not here on Twitch for now. Who knows? We're not going to say it's gone for good because you never know. But this is, for now, August 12th will be the suspension of the DisCast live shows. So thank all of you for your support. There's 45 of you here now, but it's not just you guys. There have been tons of people who have come in and come out and have watched for a couple weeks when they can, watch exclusively on YouTube,
watch on iTunes,
listened on iTunes for like the 4 weeks that was a thing, and then we ran out of web posting a couple months. I think it was from like January. It was from
December.
It was from December to May. Yes, yeah. And then we ran out of web posting space, but that's a different story for another day.
Maybe the last show we'll make it a 2-hour show. We'll start it at 8.
Yeah, we could do that.
We'll have like a news section, then we'll just
talk,
reminisce.
Exactly. And you've all been a huge help. Legit, Miner. You were here since the beginning. You were the first person that we felt worthy enough to be a moderator in our Twitch chat.
He's the only one besides me.
Besides you, and Danielle has the moderator thing. She doesn't watch. She doesn't really count, but she had it. And yeah, not even my Twitch account is a moderator on here. So thank you very much, Legit. Thank you so much to Jeremy, Spectral Radio. He has given so much financially to this podcast over the couple years to help us keep the website afloat.
Yeah, he was the driving factor in us starting up the website, and then when we had to switch over to a new host, he was there to help us out with the funding of it. So
yeah, it was him who said, yeah, you guys need a website. And then he helped finance that. He helped us continue pay for the hosting. Whenever Darren or I hasn't been able to make it, he has stepped in many times. Also, thank you to Spokesman, to Broken Taylor, to Epcot, and to anyone else, to Deepa Disney, Bradley, you guys, and Brittany. Brittany as well, because she was one of the founding members. You've all done so much for us. You've all really helped us out, and it's been a pleasure to work with all of you. I hope I can work with all of you again, because you're all great people, and I've really enjoyed it. We're not leaving. We're just stopping this show. Don't forget, Darren, point up. This is our Twitter. These are our Twitter accounts. Follow us both, as well as follow the DisCast for all the news you'll ever need and you'll ever want concerning us.
So you're not going to be here next week, right?
Next week, I will not be here.
Oh, guys, we're going to have Darren Palooza.
It's going to be the final Darren Palooza night. They're the best episodes.
Everybody always... There's no... Because I don't know how to record them.
It's so funny. I was watching the Epcot one. It's... The professionality. I have all the overlays up and everything going. Darren doesn't know what he's doing. It's fun. It's funny to watch.
You know what's funny is that I made all the overlays, but I don't have them on my computer.
Yes, that's so weird. Darren made all of these in Photoshop. I remember sitting down in August 2013. We're designing them all. He sent them to me, and then they were just gone, and he never used them ever again. And you can't even use "you got a new computer" as an excuse, because when you were on your old computer, you still didn't use them. So there you go.
Anywho, so if you can make it next week, I tend to, be a little bit more loosey-goosey, and, there's a lot more jibber-jabbering going on. So.
Of course. So, yeah. Oh, Julia brings up a good point. Will you retain @DisCastDarren as your Twitter handle?
I cannot say what my new Twitter handle is, because I have a feeling if I mention it, someone's going to take it before
exactly.
But my Twitter handle will be changing.
Hey, Epcot's even here. Look at that. He said that was a good show. Of course it was a good show.
So I'm going to be changing my Twitter handle, and I got a big announcement going up on my channel tomorrow that has to do with my Twitter and other things.
Oh,
so
yeah, definitely.
Follow me on Twitter. Tomorrow's going to be a really interesting day as far as news with me goes. A lot of announcements. So
yeah. News of you and news of every project that we've basically ever done. So it's going to be huge. So make sure you're following him for all the news on that as well.
A big week.
Indeed, it will be. And
so let's migrate from some pretty upsetting news to some amazing news. Shanghai Disneyland is killing it.
Shanghai Disneyland.
Jesus,
man, it's amazing.
Hold up. I fear for Walt Disney World's numbers.
Do you really?
Walt Disney World is the most popular theme park in the world, and I fear for its numbers. Shanghai Disneyland is going to shatter those numbers opening year.
Do you really think so?
Oh, I know.
I mean, not if only.
Have you seen? Do you know what their guest capacity is?
Their guest
Like,
capacity...
1 million.
Well, yeah, that's because, like, China's
so big.
person capacity is like 1 billion, so...
Yeah.
You know. Exactly. No train, not okay, Epcot says. There's no train, you can't be at Disney Park.
Hold up.
How
I feel
about
like we should
hold
just
on.
roll the things in Shanghai Disneyland off because it's all so crazy. It doesn't look like a Disney park.
But it's great, and that's
It's
the thing,
so
that's
good.
what works for the Chinese market.
Who banned Epcot?
Who banned Epcot? Oh my god, legit.
Legit.
I'll unban him. Here you go.
Oh,
You
you
should
meant
be...
to ban Pete Zipper.
Oh, now it's fixed. So there you go. You should be good, Epcot. Say something now. So Shanghai Disneyland. Here's what the Disney Parks blog put on their post, made by Thomas Smith, his social media director, on yesterday, actually. So in China, Bob Iger unveiled new exciting details on Shanghai Disneyland and the 6 theme lands planned for the theme park. It's a world-class entertainment destination, blah, 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 blah. We all know that. Let's go down to what Bob Iger had to say, which was, "We are taking everything we've learned from our 6 decades of exceeding expectations, along with our relentless innovation and famous creativity to create a truly magical place that is both authentically Disney and distinctly Chinese." So it's blending what we know and love with Disney parks with what works for the Chinese market. And it's going to be pretty interesting. So number 1, Tomorrowland.
Jesus Christ! Oh my god, Tomorrowland is so brilliant.
Tomorrowland is so brilliant, and the biggest e-ticket in Tomorrowland is not Space Mountain. People were a little upset when they heard there's not going to be a Space Mountain at Shanghai Disneyland, but we get something so much better, and that is Tron Light Cycle Power Run, which is a
Could
coaster
they
style...
take out Space Mountain in Disney World and put Tron Light Cycle Power Run there? Please?
They wouldn't do that.
I
But
say pretty please, will they?
I don't think so. But it's looks amazing. It's one of the most thrilling adventures at any Disney park. So this is going to be...
Brian, do you have pictures of these?
Do I have pictures of these? We can actually watch a small little video of Tomorrowland at Shanghai Disneyland.
Oh, perfect. Let's do that.
It's all concept art.
Amazing.
It's completely concept art. So we're going to go into here, which is not set up yet, because yeah, oops. So we're going to add my camera, because we are in a completely professional show here at the DisCast.
Who's running this episode, me?
Yes. We'll add a screen capture of that. Boom, 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 boom.
You're not very good at this thing.
Not
Not at all.
Maybe we should stop then.
Yeah, let's just stop this.
Oh, we also switched. So now I'm Darren and you're Ryan.
Perfect.
All right, we switched it again. So anyway, here is the deal with this. All right, screen capture, and we're gonna put on this window right here. Now, I've turned off the sound so we're getting copyright strikes. And watch this. Here's the facade of the building itself. It looks very Tron. Look at that stage outside. There's some kind of dance party going on. This looks amazing. There are the light cycles going out. It has that kind of test track kind of thing where it has the loop that goes out in front.
If I can just kind of give what I think about it, it
Sure.
looks very much like the film Tomorrowland, which is very,
It does.
futuristic. You'd think like it was kind of like Tomorrowland film inspired, or the film was kind of inspired by that, because it's very green and it's very white, which has been different the way that every other Future World has been made, which is very neon and very gray.
Right.
So this is a lot more, I guess green is the way. It's like a very light and very green environment.
Right. Yeah, it is
So
very much...
that's an entirely new concept for, Disney Park.
Oh yes, it is. It is completely different than anything we've seen before. It is going to be a much more thrilling attraction than anything else that we've seen in a Disney park as well, and so that's going to be really different. Okay, as well. There's this little spinny ride thing, which looks like, what is that supposed to be? You see the little spinny ride?
Dumbo, yeah.
It's like a Dumbo, but it's in Tomorrowland. So I don't know what that's supposed to be. We'll have to see that for ourselves. Tomorrowland. So, and there's more stuff as well, obviously. So Fantasyland is going to be the largest land. It's going to have the Enchanted Storybook Castle, which we've already seen before. We've already looked at that. That looks really good. Now, by the way, this Storybook Castle is the most innovative and most interactive Disney castle in any park. Why is it interactive? What does it have? Who knows? But we haven't gotten any word on that yet. However, we have the promise that it'll have many interactive elements and many things, you know, better than the other castles, which are, you know, older, and so that's why they don't have whatever features this one's gonna have.
Does that not make it like timeless though?
Does that not make it timeless?
Like
yes,
the older castles.
I think they are
like
definitely
the fact
timeless.
That they've been able to, you know,
yes,
kind of withstand the test of technological evolution. You know, they've just kind of been able to sit where they're at.
Yeah, of course. Once you start adding cool new technology to things,
the other ones are going to want it too.
Well, that, and it actually will age faster. Because technology, what is it? Someone's law that computer power doubles every 2 years or whatever. It is exponentially increasing, and with that happening, means that technology progresses faster and faster and faster. And if technology is progressing faster and faster,
Tomorrowland, Future World, Interventions.
Tomorrowland and Futureland Interventions, and even a more practical thing, Disney Quest.
True.
Disney Quest has put in all this new innovative technology. Here we are. It's closing because it can't keep up anymore.
Yeah.
So once you do add these innovative stuff, there is the fear that it'll age quicker. But this is China, and you know, Asia in general throws in all this cool technology everywhere, and
they're on
works.
The forefront of the technological revolution.
Yeah, so it's very something that you know, they would do, and it's something that's very very Asian market, and
because they have the ability to update it.
Right, that too. And obviously, when you're talking about China, you're talking about government-sanctioned things. You're talking about things where, you know, the government might be like, here, have some money to do stuff. So, you know, you never know. It's also going to have, in Fantasyland, Voyage to the Crystal Grotto, hitch a rollicking ride on the Seven Doors Mine Train. Seven Doors Mine Train is coming here. And take a flight over the skies of London on Peter Pan's Flight, which was recently revitalized in Disneyland, so it's probably going to have all of this new projection mapping and stuff as well.
Plus, it'll look like 80 times better. Have you seen how big this park is? Like, the landmass that this park is encompassing.
Yeah, so the ride's probably going to be larger itself as well. Now, apparently, I was talking to longtime DisCast viewer Hitchhiking Ghost the other day, and he was saying how the reactions to the new Peter Pan's Flight in Disneyland have been mixed. A lot of people who don't
closed. It was closed for a long period of time, and people didn't see the justification for how long it was closed to what was done.
Right.
But when you're building,
it's the projection mapping. That's the thing. It's all the projections and that kind of stuff that took so long.
Yeah, and when you're building on top of pre-existing infrastructure, it's a mess to handle. Like when they built Peter Pan's Flight in a year, and you know this update took 6 or 7 months to do. You know, you can't make that comparison of, oh, they only did this in X amount of time, because they're building on top of, you know, pre-existing structure and ride.
Right. Yeah, it's true. And now this is a whole entirely new thing. And so will they build upon what was there at Disneyland? Maybe they had infrastructure constraints to work with? Probably. Will the ride be longer than 60 seconds? I hope so, because I love Peter Pan's Flight. To have that be expanded upon, you know?
So, you know what the way is discussed is crowd control and how these new rides are going to be able to handle crowding.
That's true.
Do you think that, you know, similar to everything else that's been going on with this park, they've literally planned out every single detail, like on paper, and they've moved forward with that. Do you think that they have some master plan to not have, you know, 2-hour lines?
When I see Shanghai Disneyland, I see, you know, a truly 21st century Disney park. Right?
Exactly.
And this is a completely, you know, we see things in Walt Disney World. We have magic bands, which kind of are giving a technological edge to Walt Disney World, but that's built upon existing infrastructure. Disneyland, for the 60th anniversary, we have these cool shows like Disneyland Forever, and we have, you know, updates to a ton of the attractions, but it's working on 60-year-old infrastructure. You see in, like, Tokyo, in Hong Kong, they're newer parks, they can do more with that kind of stuff. And here we are at Shanghai. It's completely new, and it's completely new beginning in 2011. Yeah. You know? So, like, the new infrastructure to work with, they have a massive area. I think they definitely have the technology.
Well, you have to forget, it's not American technology, it's Asian technology. Yeah. So throw an additional 10 years, so it was started in 2021.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. I wouldn't say that far in advance, but yeah, no, they do have more of a head start because of their location in Asia. And that they're kind of cultural take on the whole technology aspect in these kinds of things, and it's great. And do they have some kind of master plan to decrease lines? I mean, I don't know how masterfully you can prepare for such a thing, but they have all of the guest tracking you see in Magic Bands. I think that'll happen here. Will we see Magic Bands themselves? Well, we talked about the fact that the smartphone rate in China, especially in the Shanghai area, is so elevated between that of America.
United States.
Like you don't even need to give people another thing, because everyone has smartphones. Everybody has smartphones. You say that, and yes, maybe you'll think in the United States everyone has smartphones, but
literally everyone.
Literally everyone. Area. Yes. So I think they can bet a little bit more on
what
people
I mean,
phones.
As far as wait times, is that because they have the space, they can have longer rides, and when you're doing
longer rides, less people outside. Yes, guest capacity is...
when you're dealing with guest capacity, you're only dealing with the amount of square footage as path.
Right, that's true.
So if there's more ride capacity on the same amount of path as any other Disney park, then they have better wait times because there's more space to put guests. That doesn't count towards square footage of the park.
That's true. And I was also talking about, if Peter Pan's flight is longer, that helps towards that. In addition to Peter Pan's flight, we have you can explore the 100-acre wood with Winnie the Pooh, which I hope is more expanded over the many adventures. That's just, and also Alice in Wonderland. There's a Wonderland maze to follow Alice through, and that's Fantasyland. That's what we know of Fantasyland. Now, Treasure Cove, which we reported on when they announced it. It is a completely pirate-themed land in a Disney park. It's the first one of its kind. There's a new Pirates of the Caribbean attraction, Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for the Sunken Treasure, which transforms a boat ride...
Can we show the video for this one, too?
Where's the video for this one? Do you have a link?
I don't know if it was videos or if there were multiple pictures, because... so good.
We showed the pictures when they first came out.
Well, those were the construction pictures.
Well, no, there were concept art pictures.
Okay. Because, they released a commercial recently for it, which is why all this stuff happened at the same time, because the first commercial was released, and they're like, here, we'll go in depth and just put it up on YouTube and, our website.
Right.
But,
here's a picture of, part of it.
In the commercial. Oh my god, that ride is huge.
And here's a picture of the entire, area of Treasure Cove. It looks fantastic. Here's part of the convection area, which we'll get to in a minute.
So I think that is the, epitome of me talking about bigger ride space for guest eater rides.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine there being any wait whatsoever for this ride because there's just so much space. Like they could churn out so many cars at a time.
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, and they say that the attraction transforms a boat ride into a thrilling journey with cutting-edge innovations in robotics, animation, set design, and multimedia. There we are again talking about the increased technology in the park.
And you also have to remember, it's not the America standard they have to work with. They have to work around the Asia standard. It's two different standards for technology.
Right.
Something that's innovative in, North America isn't innovative in, Asia.
Right. It's very true. And apparently also adventurous spirits will be able to board a pirate ship, paddle through the scenic cove on explorer canoes. Is this going to be like the Davy Crockett canoes at Disneyland? Do you think?
Oh, hopefully.
That'd be really cool.
I was thinking that or the swan boats.
Oh, that too. Yeah. And also dine at Barbossa's Bounty. So there's the first hint towards a restaurant that we've got. And Treasure Cove seems like a really, really cool theme land. One that I really wish we had here in the domestic parks. I've never had any desire to go to China, but I do now. Just for this.
I was talking with Corey about that, and we're both like, we're going with this.
Oh, definitely. Bring me. I want to go. And next up, we have Adventure Isle, which immerses guests in a newly discovered lost world filled with hidden treasures and a chance to explore its mysteries. The mighty roaring mountain will tower over guests and beckon them on their journey. Guests can blaze their own trails at Camp Discovery, travel around the world on Soarin' Over the Horizon. This is Soaring Over the Horizon. Is it called Soaring Over the Horizon? Look at that. There you go.
Who called that rumor?
Well, we already we did that in the past, but we didn't make that up. We got it.
Yeah, but we called it. We called it. We said we know.
We just reported on it and said this is probably going to happen because we just have our
I was
instincts.
certain. I was certain.
Yeah.
What was it? When was the one where I was drawing the diagrams? Was that when you weren't here?
Maybe, I don't remember. I know I watched
There was one where I was drawing a bunch of diagrams.
Yeah.
I discussed Soaring Over the Horizon.
Yeah, so Soaring Over the Horizon, or embark on the thrilling rafting adventure Roaring Rapids, straight through the heart of Adventure Isle. There they discover the underworld realm of a mysterious, fearsome creature. Mysterious, fearsome creature, huh?
Me.
That's pretty interesting. Yo, it's you?
Oops.
There you go. Oops. And Tomorrowland, as we were talking about, they're not just going to have... the spinny ride was jetpacks, apparently.
Oh, that's cool.
Tomorrowland-style jetpacks. I really do think this is kind of like a Tomorrowland movie-inspired Tomorrowland.
I was looking at the concept art and stuff, and I'm like, this has to be,
movie-inspired.
Of course. It looks too similar to not be.
Did that do well in China? Was it released in China? Probably not. But let's see.
You know what it is? You could not see the movie Tomorrowland and be like, that looks like the future.
Right.
Because that's like the current, the notion of what the future looks like.
The film's highest openings occurred in China with 14.1 million, so I guess it did kind of do all right. I don't know.
Hold up, but you can't blame a movie that was released in 2015 for a park that was started, vertical construction in 2011.
Yeah, but I think they knew kind of about it. This because we heard about the Tomorrowland movie happening years and years ago. So I remember seeing the leaked things on IMDb saying Tomorrowland, and it said 2015, and it felt like so far away.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are, of course. And
like I said, I don't think that it has anything to do with the movie. I think that they had happened to line up with what our just natural vision of what the future is. We're moving in a society that's more towards green and sleek design.
Right.
And both of them just happen to fit the blueprint for it because that's the way that we're moving in this world.
Right, that's true. Okay. And next up on the list, we have what Shanghai Disneyland's analog of Main Street is. It's called Mickey Avenue. It's the first main entry at a Disney park inspired by the colorful personalities of Mickey Mouse and his pals. So it's a core Disney character group in the land inspired by them, and it's kind of like Main Street. In the neighborhoods of this welcoming, whimsical avenue, guests will share a hug and get a photo with some all-time favorite Disney characters. Avenue M Arcade, one of the many shops along the avenue, will feature the largest selection of gifts and collectibles inside the theme park.
Wow. I was talking with Corey today, and we were discussing about how this goes against the Disney park blueprint for building a Magic Kingdom or Disneyland-style park.
It does.
This completely deviates whatever pre-existing
Well, it's the blueprint,
boundaries.
but they basically changed what the little... So usually you'd have your map of Magic Kingdom, right? And you'd have little, lines drawn where Main Street is, lines drawn where Tomorrowland usually is, lines drawn where Fantasyland is. And you just say, pick from this small little group and chuck them in there. This is... The same lines have been drawn, but different things have been put in different areas, Tomorrowland is on the, the left quote-unquote, side of the park. It's different placing of things. But
you have to think, they got rid of a bunch of the lands, or you renamed them, or however you want to look at it. That's entirely new. I mean, every place has their one thing, but they all contain, the basic... Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, right. Main Street, and Frontierland.
Well, not Main Street in the case of, what is that, Tokyo?
Hong
Kong, yeah.
Well, because it's Main Street, USA.
Right. Yeah, this is very much different. Now, I think the Mickey Avenue, the architecture is still similar to Main Street. It's still kind of like that early 20th century American vibe to it, but it's not what that is anymore.
You know what this is? More than anything else, it is a refreshing taste of Disney.
Right. Like I said, it's a truly 21st century Disney park.
This is what people in the 1950s were feeling as they were looking at the construction of Disneyland, because it was something that was so new and so unique.
I think even more 1970s with Walt Disney World, because they had already had a taste of what Disney was, but here's something that's kind of new and big and exciting and new technology, and we're getting that again here, and that's really cool. And I kind of feel like how they felt, right before with Disneyland opening and with Walt Disney World opening. I feel
like I said, this is going to be a killer for the Disney parks in the U.S., but Shanghai Disneyland is going to become the new flagship resort.
The only issue is its location in Shanghai, China, which is not a place that a lot of people want to go. But I think China is trying to freshen up the image of Shanghai. You know, they're trying to make it.
Well,
No,
that's
it's
why
not
they
just
sold all that land to Disney.
Yeah, it's not just a disgusting, manufacturing smog hole, which it is. But we're making it nice. We're adding a theme park from Disney. Who's going to say no to that? And I'm not going to say no to that. I would never go to Shanghai if there wasn't a Disney park there. But now I really want to go.
I mean, this would be awful for the Walt Disney Company, but if this park absolutely flopped.
I don't want it to. There is too many good things here.
I want this to be the best. I also don't want it to. I want it to fail, and I want it to thrive. I want it to thrive because it's a brilliant idea, and a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into that, and it's just so good.
Yeah.
But I want it to fail because that'll give me hopes that they'll just, break down the rides and just send them to the other Disney parks.
Yeah. And we haven't even touched the last land, which is Gardens of Imagination. Which isn't really, it celebrates the wonders of nature and the joys of imagination as guests leave everyday life behind. Isn't that the whole point of all Disney parks? To enjoy 7 whimsical gardens. Guests can take a spin on the Fantasia Carousel, soar on the back of Dumbo the Flying Elephant, and enjoy the area's iconic Disney entertainment, including castle stage shows and Ignite the Dream, nighttime spectacular of magic and light. Ignite the Dream, a nighttime spectacular of music and light. That sounds very similar to what am I saying? A fantastical pageant of nighttime music and imagination, which is Meteorological Parade. So it's going to be a Paint the Night Meteorological Parade-ish kind of thing? Is that what this is? Ignite the Dream?
That's funny wording. That is...
Ignite the Dream.
Because it's a mix of everything.
Could it be Celebrate the Magic with projection shows in the castle as well? We don't know what this is. Or is this the full stage show? I think it's spectacular. I think this is the actual fireworks extravaganza for this park.
But it's not just going to be
It's not just going to be fireworks.
They're pulling out all
Look at Disney. Disneyland Forever has made me very excited for new fireworks shows at Disney parks. Disneyland Forever is absolutely amazing.
You know that they're putting projection mapping technology on every single building in the park. You know that they are.
Oh, you know how cool that would look? My reaction...
you look at the video of the Tomorrowland thing, and the roof of the building changes colors. They could so synchronize that up to work with whatever firework or projection map showing they're doing. Imagine being in an airplane or a helicopter flying over the park as the fireworks or something is going off. That's got to be insane to look at.
Definitely. Yes. Oh my god, it's gonna be so cool. And then Mickey. I guess we'll also enjoy Mickey's Storybook Express, which is not a train. It's an exciting parade with its own musical soundtrack and colorful performers on the longest parade route in a Disney park. That's just because this is a really big Disney park. Yeah. Massive. So that's why. You
know what I found interesting? I looked at Tomorrowland a lot, and there's no outlet of Tomorrow. Tomorrowland's a dead end. So
Really?
Do you think that's gonna cause?
Let's check out. Hold on.
The corner of Tomorrowland is a dead end.
I'm getting the Shanghai Disney map up for everyone to look at. I wasn't sure which map I was looking at before. Which map are you looking at? Do you have a?
I can pull one up.
Yeah, it is in a corner. That's interesting. Usually I wouldn't do something like that. It's weird. There's not very many open. Did you send me something? No, you didn't. There aren't very many open places here. Let's see. I need a good picture that I can chuck in.
I mean, I think from what it looks like, there's a lot of path, but it's a lot of confusing, twisty, windy paths. If there's even a slight little bit of
let's see,
of congestion, it's gonna back up the entire park.
I'm trying to see where the thing I was just looking at went. Where'd it go? I mean, this is kind of a bad picture. Here we go. Here's a good one. Let's view image. Let's save. Oh, come on.
Just do a screen region around it.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Because it saves a stupid large JPEGs and people. There's stupid other extensions you put on JPEGs. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This thing's gonna take forever to upload, isn't it? Let's see. Jeez, my upload speeds have been strange lately. I was streaming the other day, and
Here at the DisCast, we don't get distracted in conversation.
No, we don't. Okay, we're going to plaster this right over our faces. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to go into our pictures thing. And we're going to delete that screen region. And we're going to bring in this one. Okay, so this is a little difficult because I'd have to put it over the entire screen or if you'd actually read the text here. So that's what we're going to do. It's over the entire screen right now. And so, looking over in the Tomorrowland area, you see first on the opposite side of the park that we're used to. It's always usually on the other side. And so over there you can see the jetpacks, which is the spinny thing. Right next to it, Stitch Encounter. What? We're not getting rid of Stitch's Great Escape? That's pretty much what this is. Maybe they like Stitch in China, I don't know. Buzz Lightyear Planet Rescue. Then the Tron Cove and Tron Light Cycles Power Run building right over there, which looks great. It looks fantastic. And there's Tomorrowland Stage, which we saw in the video. Another notable change, you can see the hub area. That's the Gardens place we were talking about. And that's actually like, you know, a place that has things in it and not just a hub like we're used to. Mickey Avenue down by the entrance. The Esplanade area is very reminiscent of Disneyland in California.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see to the left of that, you can see Disneytown, which is the downtown Disney, placed very similarly to Disneyland. But the Esplanade goes over to water right below it, much like Walt Disney World at Magic Kingdom does.
Mm-hmm.
Looking over into the right-hand side of the park, you can see Adventure Isle and the Adventure area with a big mountain range over there and store and building in the back. And then right next to it is the Pirate Land, and the Pirates ride is in that big, massive building over there. Seven Dwarfs is a massive mountain. Look at that thing.
It's a mountain. It's
not just a small little thing like it is in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Honey Pot Spin.
How much was their funding for this? Because this is a lot of funding.
I don't know, but it has to have been a lot. Look at this place. This is huge. I'm gonna look at the budget later, but this is absolutely crazy.
I like how there's an Alice in Wonderland maze.
Yes, that's cool too. Look at Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. That's a big building for Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's almost as big as like the Soarin' Theater.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that means that that really helps us and look towards you know, large scale things of what we're used to.
Now, if you notice something, this is rather interesting. Is none of the rides face in; they all face out.
That's true. Look at that.
Which is something that's good when you consider expansion. Which is you know, this is the issue we see with Hollywood Studios, just to tie this into other stuff that we've talked about in the past, is you get a park like Hollywood Studios where things are landlocked in and you can't expand. So Hollywood Studios is surrounded by the entrance road, and so there's like that one area that they can't expand upon unless they want to, unless they wanted to rechange the way that you enter the park.
So they're learning, is what you're saying.
Yes. So it's interesting to think that all these massive show buildings, they face towards the outside of the park and nothing faces inward, with the exception of Peter Pan's Flight, because that's a timeless ride and they're never going to change the size of that.
Right.
But, you know, you take something like Pirates of the Caribbean, and let's say they get a new movie out and they want to add in an extra scene. They can add on to that building because there's just so much space behind it.
Right. Yeah, no, that's very true. That's yeah, and you know, they've learned a lot from, you know, they're looking to expand other things around the same time as they're planning this park, and they're like, well, here's the issues. What if we actually want to expand things in the future here? Here's what we're gonna have to do. Or even something like Stitch. If Stitch proves to be popular, they might add in another theater, and they can add another building in the back. Yeah. So that's Shanghai Disneyland. Incredibly hype.
I'm so excited for the Tomorrowland.
Lots and lots of hype. And with this, we have a couple of Walt Disney Company shifts around. Sam Lau.
Did we talk about the new Soarin'?
We'll talk about that in just a second. Hold on. Sam Lau is the Vice President of Asia. He was the Epcot VP, and Melissa Valaket is the new Epcot VP. So people are moving around a lot. Also, big high-ranking Imagineers. People you've heard of. Joe Rohde, Bob Weiss. Joe Rohde is... obviously, we know he's the creative lead of Animal Kingdom. He's also going to be global creative leadership of Marvel at Disneyland, or Disney Parks. And then also, Bob is going to... He was heavily involved in Shanghai. He's also going to be the creative lead, for Hong Kong, which is also getting big expansions. And he also was the creative force between the development of Hollywood Studios as well as the makeover of DCA. And as WW Magic writes, this says one big thing about the future of Imagineering and what they're focused on. Star Wars, Marvel, and Asia.
Yeah, I mean, I had said those exact same words, and you have too.
We're right. See?
It's the way everything's going.
We're not economists, but we know what's up. There you go. Everyone loves our economy sections. It's the best part of this show, to be honest. Anyway, so, Soarin', here's the deal. Soaring over the horizon. Does this give a hint of what to expect for Soarin' at Epcot? And for that matter, California Adventure. And so here's what they say in the little blurb about Soaring over the Horizon. Anyone who has dreamed of seeing the world or soaring like a bird will enjoy the exhilarating experience at Soaring over the Horizon, with an aerial tour of the globe never seen before. High above some of the world's most iconic landmarks, Soaring over the Horizon will take travelers on a voyage of discovery that tours every continent. Starting from an ancient observatory nestled in the cloud forest, guests will soar and explore spectacular scenic wonders with special segments for guests of Shanghai Disneyland overlooking Shanghai and the Great Wall of China. An ideal attraction for the entire family, it offers an original story, a new walkthrough experience, and a new aerial tour. The attraction is an epic remastering of the popular attraction at Disney's California Adventure in the United States. So, here's the deal. I understand, I want this to come to Epcot. My gripe is it going to California Adventure, because California Adventure is just that. And Corey got off work early, so here she is.
Hey! You know what it comes down to is, if they didn't have plans to do this, then they would have gone forward and remastered the film. Oh wait, they did that, so it's not going to DCA, because that's an expensive task to remaster and, transition a film from, 360p to above 4K.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. And DCA should remain just that. DCA should remain focused on California, and Soarin' over California should stay that way. Epcot, on the other hand, this makes perfect sense for what Epcot is.
Or what half of Epcot is.
Well, yes. And, so why not, And then Shanghai, it's a new thing. They can kind of draw their own lines. And also, keep in mind, it's more about, we have these things like the adventure area and the pirates area. It's about discovery. It's about things like that. So this fits in with that. Yeah. And so it's perfect. And I wish, I just hope that California stays true to its deal. My Magic Plus, Darren, do you run Magic Plus Snap? It's not big news.
It's new.
You can use Touch ID on your iOS device now, so that's it. That's it. All right. We're pressed for time a little bit. I want to get in. This is the big thing I want to get in, so that's why we're talking about it. So, Darren, you've never been to Disneyland. You're going, but you've never been.
Never been.
Are you familiar with the Blue Sky Cellar?
No.
Okay, the Blue Sky Cellar is a preview center at Disneyland, which was showcasing a lot of the big California Adventure, redoing and remastering, right? And they gave a lot of, in-depth looks at the construction and what's going on. They offered you a window to peer into Cars Land and look at, and it was really cool. And so apparently, since Magic Disney Animation is closed, people are starting to wonder whether a Blue Sky Cellar-esque thing will be coming to the Magic of Disney Animation for the duration of the remodeling.
Well, what I had heard was that it was going to be used as, Star Wars preview area.
Which could be as well. It's a big place, Animation Courtyard's a big place. That could be maybe the Disney Junior building could be that or whatever.
Disney Junior's still there as of now.
Oh, yeah, it is, for now. But, Animation Courtyard is probably going to be closing as a whole. So, yeah. Now, at Blue Sky Cellar, they have things like, there's a shovel that was used for the groundbreaking, and there's the signings of everyone who was there, including John Lasseter and the Imagineers on it. You know, they all signed it. It's sitting up in there. There's artifacts. You know, there's the Radiator Springs Racers concept materials all laid out there. And it's
a really nice looking building. I have seen pictures of it, so I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really, really cool.
I remember from when it initially had opened.
Yeah, and this works for this because they're basically doing the same exact thing here, you know? Give us a look at what's coming and what is to come. And it works out because people say One Man's Dream is probably going to close. Well, there's plenty of room to put most of that exhibit in here, and it'll still make sense to what's going on. So, you know...
do you think this will be used as like the way to like show what's going on with Hollywood Studios?
I think so, because that's what Blue
so
Sky Cellar
like,
was for
hey,
DCF.
half the park's closed, go here to see what's going on.
Yes, it's a way for people to kind of, you know, tell everyone what's up.
It's a way to build hype. I mean, not everybody is as like savvy as far as like information with the Disney parks goes. Like that's like the common man's way of figuring everything else out, because not everybody reads the Disney park blog.
It's true. It's very true.
So you're like, oh, hey, why is every single ride down? Be like, hey, you should go check out that building over there. It'll tell you everything.
Exactly.
Like, okay, thanks.
Like Blue Sky Cellar was, you know, it's really cool. You get insights into Imagineering. You don't get that very often, you know. There are Imagineers who hang out there and talk to people sometimes. You know, that's a cool thing. You get to see a bunch of artifacts from the development of the parks. You know, the John Lasseter signed shovel. Concept art for rides that are opening soon. You know, I went there a month before Cars Land opened. I was there in, or like 2 months before. I was there in like end of April, early May, and it opened in early June. So I was there just a month before. And so what I saw was really cool. I was watching them from the top of California screaming. You could see them testing a Radiator Springs Racers.
Yeah.
Going around like, oh, look, they're testing it. Look at that. It's so cool. And that was really cool.
I remember back when I used to be like a religious watcher of Inside the Magic, seeing a video of that, of them like testing it early on.
Yeah, it was some cool stuff.
I mean, yours must have been pretty much very far along, like the construction process. But I remember like one of the first like testing cars going across.
You'd be surprised. It was very like messy for being.
Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff you can do till the end.
Right, that's true.
That's true. The beginning
landscaping
process
being principal among them, and landscaping is what makes it look complete aesthetically. So that's why.
90% of the time is spent doing the first 10% of the work.
That's true.
So while I say it was not early on, it was very far down the process, because going back to infrastructure stuff, like that's what takes the longest amount of time. Getting all the wiring and piping. That's
very true.
Throwing down the concrete and the early rock work, that's what takes it.
Do you want to know how I learned about Cars Land? So I was watching, this was back when I was in like 5th or 6th grade. We were watching the old, we're watching this in a technology class. They're the, Imagineering put out these tapes of like some engineering stuff to get kids excited about engineering and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we were watching one of these, and at the end of the whole thing, after they were teaching, basic scientific principles and stuff like that, at the end, they're like, here's what we're working on. And number one, they show this whole 3D, rendering of California Adventure, right? And then they show, by the way, like
a layover.
And like, here's what it will look like when Radiator Springs is in California Adventure.
That's really cool.
That's how I found out. It was through educational material. And it was really cool. I really liked that. And it got me really excited. And this was like, what now? Like 6-7 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
And Cars Land opened,
2012.
Jeez.
Yep.
It
was a couple months after I was there. And so I hope Blue Sky Cellar.
Animation's been open for a while, too. That one turned a few years old pretty recently. I think it was 3 or 4. And I was reading an article, and it's like, Art of Animation turns like 4 years old, and I was like, wow.
Right.
Jeez.
Here you go. The Science of Disney Imagineering. I remember I really liked that, too, because they went into like, they showed like some behind the scenes stuff, because this was back when Everest was new. So it was a huge section devoted to Everest. And it was partially promotional material, but for me, who's interested in engineering and interested in science and that kind of stuff.
Well, Everest was such a technological marvel.
Oh, it was
finished. That was a big thing. Like now we see it and we're like Everest, and back when it first opened, it was the only. First of all, it was the only thing like Animal Kingdom had besides dinosaur. but it was a big, feat for the Imagineers. Not just as far as technicality of the ride goes, but just overall theming. Like, it's consistently well themed throughout the entire ride, from the moment you step into the queue to the moment you leave the gift shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's pretty much all we got.
I think that's all we got.
There's appetizers for the dining plan and DVC at World Pinterest Lodge beginning in October. There.
That's nothing else important.
The other two.
This show is really mainly to give you guys the big announcement. It was to talk about Shanghai, which ate up most of our time, and then Blue Sky Cellar, because I'm just interested in that. And that is more or less our show. 20 viewers at the end of the show. That's the most we've had for the end of the show.
As far as the end, yeah.
Yeah, and at the beginning we broke some records as well. 45, I think we peaked at. What's our record? Is it 50? 55?
I think it's like 55.
It's like 55, so we almost broke records at the beginning. But at the end...
No, the 1 year had a little bit more than that.
The 1 year had like 55.
Was it 50?
I think we peaked around 55,
I don't
maybe
know, we
60.
get more views on YouTube.
We do get more views on YouTube, even though we don't get very many views on YouTube. Yeah. Best viewer retention for an episode. Good job, guys.
50%.
50%. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting. Thank you all for your continued support in any way that you give it, whether it's a good job, guys, on the show on Twitter, or it's a monetary donation, or it's sitting around in chat for an hour discussing what we're talking about. That's always great as well.
There was no chat discussion of what's
There was no chat discussion this week, but shush, it happens sometimes. In the beginning, it happened a lot. But... Darren, do we want to...
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow Ryan and myself on Twitter. I have a really big announcement going up on my YouTube channel tomorrow, so stick around for that tomorrow. And we shall see you all next time. Have a great week.
Good night, everyone.